Five, four, three, two, one. Like, what's going on, dudes? My name is Steven, dude. Welcome to Vibe Check Podcast episode number 10, dude. Yeah, man. We're almost off the thingies, dude. It's getting kind of gnarly, man. But yo, so I got a special guest for me this wonderful and fine evening, dude. We're actually kind of going a little off pace of what we usually do, which is businesses. We're actually going to our DOJ system, bro. We're gonna talk to some of those broskies. I would like to welcome our special guest, Mr. Judge Red. A lot of you brohams that, did a little bit of those naughty things, man. Probably met this man or, throughout the court cases. Welcome to the show, man. Welcome to Vibe Check Podcast, Mr. Your Honor, Judge Red, man.
It's awesome to be here, man. I appreciate you having me.
All right, dude. Let's get into the juice of this story, man. So what was the beginning of before the that first part of Judge Red? Why don't you talk about your journey, dude? To get to this point right now, man.
Oh, good. How far back we trying to go? We trying to go all the way back to the days up in Sandy, or you want me to trim
You
it up a
want
little
it?
bit for you?
Hey, dude. You want it? Listen. At the end of the day, just whatever you want to share is what you want to share, bro. Ham, dude. Ham. I ain't gonna
Hmm.
stop you.
All right, I mean, I'll start. We'll take a brief trip down memory lane, I guess. So yeah, I was born up in Sandy. Got a brother up there. His name's Cletus. We didn't have the best childhood, best upbringing, nothing like that. Um, he got arrested back when we were kids. Something about meth, whole bunch of drug deal and stuff like that. But the way it happened, it just wasn't quite right. So I ended up studying, reading a whole bunch of books, going to law school and all sorts of stuff, and I managed to go to court, and I managed to get him off all his charges. And that was the starts. That's where I kind of got my feet in the door with our justice system.
All right, dude. What was the journey like from? Because you went through the justice system and stuff like that. What was the struggles and the triumphs of from going from the broski, defending the bros to now the one in a way having the dice in his hand. What was
So
the
yeah,
journey to
so
that?
it's been a long trip, that's for sure. I mean, I first got actually certified as an attorney probably almost 2 years ago now. It's been a while, but I was the sole defense attorney in our great city of Los Santos for a little while under then Judge Cletus Jemison and Judge Teddy Long. Some of y'all actually might know or have heard of Judge Teddy. He was actually in court a couple months back because he got charged with some things. But yeah, I was the city's sole defense attorney for a good period, probably 6 8 months or so. And I represented a whole ton of cases, met a whole lot of people, made a whole lot of friends, made some folks not too happy with me. But yeah, that went on for quite a while. Then I finally got some coworkers, got a good friend Ryland Light. He joined the DOJ back in the day. Me and him together, we formed the Red Light Law Firm with Douglas Red and Ryland Light. It was great times. We were the best defense attorneys the city'd ever seen. We were also the only defense attorneys at the time, so it made it a little bit interesting on that front. But those are good days. Those are good fond memories. Eventually, we got a couple more employees joined the crew. Had a couple ups and downs. Some folks joining, some folks leaving. I moved over to be the district attorney about a year ago, about just over a year ago, I think. Started prosecuting cases, working for the state, working with the police, dealing with the law enforcement agents and everything like that. Um, made some poor choices myself. Got into some sticky situations. Ended up getting arrested. Um, went to trial. I got found guilty by a jury. Uh, I did my time. I learned my lesson. Came back and was given a second chance by our great city and was brought back in as a district attorney for a brief period, and then was promoted up to a judge when former Judge Kane kind of stepped down or went away, and we needed another one to fill in his shoes. So now it's just me and Judge Diana Moore, and we've got a whole bunch of DOJ employees beneath us. Um, working on cases, and they're absolutely fantastic at everything they do. They've been knocking out cases left and right, representing everybody out throughout the city, and honestly, just been doing a fantastic job all around.
Yeah, I was about to say to like add on to that though. Yeah, no, they're very around a lot, you know. I've
Oh
seen
yeah.
some I'm not even gonna lie, dudes, to like anyone out there, dudes. Like all the lawyers around there, man. Like if I have any kind of legal advice or anything, dude, there's always someone around, you know. And they're just like, you know, they're always like welcome to answer like any wild question, dude. I've asked some kind of crazy questions, and I'm not gonna lie. But you know,
Oh, we get
it's just
wild
part
things
of the
all the
system.
time.
Yeah, dude, I feel like that's the DOJ, cause you know, just how it goes at the end of the day. And I do, before we continue though, I do want to throw out a disclaimer that yes, it was supposed to start at 8 o'clock, but Mr. Judge Red got into some paperwork, cause you know the work never stops, so kind of had to delay it a little bit, but you know, I think it was kind of worth the delay like always. But yeah, so you got to the judge point, so what's for the future, you know, to the broskies out there, because you know you are the pretty much the we'll call you like the higher up, you know, when it comes to the DOJ and stuff like that. Do you have like any advice to any broski that would ever think about wanting to be part of this wonderful, you know, department of the DOJ of you know, becoming a lawyer or you know, defense attorney and all that jazzer and all that?
Oh, absolutely. So, first off, before I even answer this question, we are absolutely hiring. Anyone who's out there listening right now, if you're interested in a job, come speak to me at some point. Shoot me a message, an email, whatever. We can talk. The biggest thing I can recommend for anyone who's looking to get into this line of work is just get to know people. If you get to know people and you talk to folks, that's the biggest part of this job. All the information is out there. It's not the knowing the information that's the problem. It's knowing the right person who to talk to. So if you got contacts, you know who does what, you know who knows what. That's the best, most important skill you could possibly come to the table with. That and being able to think on your feet quickly.
Oh yeah, of course. Like I've always found it very interesting because I'm not gonna lie for myself. You know, when it comes to the like this organization of like you know having to get massive amounts of paperwork to then realign the cases of whenever they do come in. I do applaud the DOJ for you know keeping things in order and keeping things swinging. If that makes sense, you know, of like
Oh, no, absolutely.
not having much of a stalemate. If that, I think that's a better word.
Yeah, no, we
For
do
that.
occasionally have things like that pop up, but yeah, we can work through them pretty good. It's usually not an issue.
But
There's a
that comes down to the you know the coming questions. I do have a very interesting question. To be fair, it's gonna be kind of worded a little funky. I ain't gonna
Okay.
lie. But so in the case of, you know, 'cause like you talked about with the enemies and stuff like that, is this something like a line of work to where you know, you're not gonna make, you know, a lot of people happy with you in itself, you know, when it comes
No,
to
so
making
that's
your
actually
choices?
something. Yeah, that's something a lot of folks actually like to question or think about. The way I look at it, my job is to interpret the law and make sure that it is applied correctly and thoroughly. My job is not to punish folks. My job is not to make anybody suffer or anything of that nature. The laws are written, the laws are established, the rules are made. It's kind of the same as with our district attorney position. Some folks look at the DA and they think, oh, this person's out to get me. No, this person's just doing their job. They're paid to provide the evidence that the state has. They're paid to present the case, and that's their job. That's what they do. They're not there to get you. They're not after any single person. It's the same with me as a judge. If the case is presented and it's a good case from the defense, well, then I'm going to rule in favor of the defense. If the case is presented, it's a really good case from the police. They have a lot of evidence. They did a lot of work. They put a lot of effort into it. Well, then it's probably going to be ruled in favor of the police. Either way, folks who come to court are always rewarded for their time, whether it be with time served or just reduced sentences in general. So I like to think of myself more of not necessarily the man making the decision, but more just kind of the final step in the conclusion. I'm here to make the to finalize the situation, not really to punish or reward anyone involved. If that kind of makes sense.
Oh no, dude, no, I definitely understand. Cause I feel like a lot of people do misinterpret this, and some brohams out there do probably think in the way of like, oh, the DOJ work with the police. It's like, no. If you really watch a lot of the court cases, there was actually some states to where it was actually the opposite to where the judge and himself, I'm not gonna state the judge of who it was actually in favor of the defense, not the people defending, like, defending the police. So that's like something that I just hope that a lot of people out there, especially like as they listen to this as well, of it's not just about, they're not there like yeah, like they're cool with everyone. It's just a part, like think about like a seesaw. That's how I see DOJ as
Hmm.
and stuff. I don't know if you want to like, touch on that subject, because I know that's something that a lot of people
Yeah.
misinterpret in some
No,
ways too.
absolutely. So I've got the numbers right in front of me. We keep very detailed statistics and tracking of everything we do here. So just for accountability purposes. But anyone who's come to court and gotten a plea deal before knows how the system works. They know why, what we're doing, everything of that nature. So if you've been arrested, you know that you're offered to plead not guilty or to plead guilty. And anyone who comes to court and goes through an attorney and looks for a plea deal, I'm looking at it. We have had 90 plea deals since all of our records got destroyed back in the tsunami or the recession. Um, the average person who's come to court and gotten a plea deal, mind you, this is just a plea deal. This is not taking a case to trial, not arguing their charges. This is just coming, talking to the judge, explaining the situation. The total average time reduction has been a 53% reduction in their sentence, and their fine has been reduced by 52% on average. There has been $601,000 refunded to criminals who have come to court seeking plea deals. The court system's not here to get anyone down. We're here to reward folks who go through the effort, take the initiative, take the responsibility. Um, so that's kind of how I want folks to view us more is we're here more to help than anything. Even if it doesn't necessarily seem like it, if you look at the overall outcome versus what could have happened, we're very beneficial to everybody involved. Not only do we keep the police in line because if they do something wrong, we're the ones who kind of bring the hammer down on them, but we also it's our job to make sure the policies and procedures and the rules and regulations, everything are followed by the police as well as the citizens who they're protecting.
Oh yeah, of course. With that being said, though, of you touching on that base, what is the like? Because I know you've kind of touched on it just a little bit, but what is like, what's the future of Mr. Judge Red? What's the future of that, of yourself or the DOJ? Because like you said, you are, or in a way, you are, Your Honor, the top of the DOJ. So like, what's the future
Yeah,
if you
so
want to
so
share
right
that?
now, me personally, I've actually been working a lot with businesses lately. I've been working with the government, talking to the mayor a whole lot directly. We're trying to get the DOJ involved in the issuance of temporary business licenses. Anyone who's ever gotten a business license knows that it's a pain and a half. Um, we've been trying to kind of streamline that process by allowing us to give temporary, essentially 30-day permits while someone's waiting to get their official business permit. That's my immediate short-term goal that I'm working on. It's already been kind of in the process. It's just waiting on final approval, which is hopefully going to come when this new city council gets elected here in the next week or so. Um, in terms of the actual DOJ itself, we've been a lot more focusing lately on kind of cleaning up our current system. Um, Not that there's anything too wrong with it necessarily, but there's certain aspects of it that are clunky, and especially to an outside observer who doesn't really know what's going on behind the scenes, it can appear as though the system's not really working that well. I can assure you it is. The system works very well, but our goal is to kind of to clear it up and make it more streamlined for the outside parties to get involved and to kind of understand how they can be beneficial and productive.
Oh yeah, of course. Like you said, that sounds Like awesome. That and this is and like I said to a lot of people, and I always talk about this like all the time, dude. It's like it's the fact that like sometimes this is what the podcast is for, because sometimes it's like it's just stuff sometimes you don't want to talk about or you don't think is important. But hey, later down the line, some broski that might be viewers that are listening, people that are watching, or people future attorneys, stuff like that, or future judges maybe too. Like this just gives them
Oh,
a
for sure.
fair opportunity to get a grasp or get an understanding of like what's going on behind the scenes and stuff. Because like you said, like a lot of the times stuff's not said, or like something that's been in discussion prior is now then brought back up, and you know what I mean. And it's like, is it actually being worked on, kind of thing? Like people like have that. Cause it's the human brain, you know what I mean? Like that's what I read in
Oh,
college
absolutely.
is like just the curiosity of the brain. But yeah, with that being said though, dude, do you have like, anything else you want to add, plug it up, something, you know what I mean? But yeah.
Man, I just got a general shout out to anyone who's listening. I appreciate y'all supporting Mr. Steven here. He's doing a great thing. If you've ever got questions about either the DOJ, any of our laws, any of our systems, come talk to me. I'm not hard to find. I'm in the yellow pages more than I'm not. And if you can't find me there, shoot me an email. I can answer a lot of questions. Anything about how the system works, why the system works, how to get involved in the system, or who to talk to about a certain aspect of anything. I can help you out. I got a lot of information. I've been around for a long time. I've been involved in a lot of different moving parts. Everything changes slowly over time, so don't hesitate. Reach out, ask, and get yourself informed. The more informed you are, the better you can be.
Oh yeah, of course, dude. With that being said, as we try to, wrap up this wonderful and beautiful episode number 10 of this wonderful and beautiful podcast, I am gonna give out a nice shout out to all the brohams. Keep in mind, dude, this coming Sunday, June 11th, dude, right after Storm is the vote, dude. It's a vote. Yes, for some of them, yes, they're unopposed, but they still need your votes. You know what I mean? If you guys have any questions whatsoever, about any of the voting and how this process is gonna work, I'm gonna guess, Judge Ray, you could probably answer my questions on that. Like if anyone has any questions to
Yeah,
contact
absolutely. Yeah.
DOJ, pretty much.
Actually, Tommy O'Sullivan would be the one who's running that and would be the one to talk to.
So yeah, dude, if you guys ever looking for the bro, I'm Tommy. He's always at Luchetti's or he's doing whatever, or even if it comes down to it too, like I'm sorry, Tommy, dude. Like, but if you have any questions whatsoever, just try to, or just just wait until the day of June 11th, and I promise you, most likely, because Tommy is a really cool dude. He'll probably answer any questions you got whatsoever. Or if not, you can also check the emails. There's also a thing like that explains the voting rules and how it's gonna work in the system and stuff like that. But yeah, dude, just don't forget to vote, dude. It's a very important day. You know what I mean? Your voice, like, yeah, you only got one vote. But at the end of the day, though, dude, it might actually come down to one vote for one side to win the whole thing, dude, like the whole enchilada. So you never know, dude. Your voice might be heard. But with that being said, though, dudes, I'm going to wrap up this beautiful and wonderful podcast. As another side note, if any broskies want to ever, advertise or anything for their businesses to be put on my posters and shout it out during the podcast, please get a hold of me. Or you can also get on a local beach, dude, and try to find me on a surfboard, man. But yeah, dudes, with that being said, I'm out, dudes. Like, peace, love, dudes. Like, shaw, dudes. I'm out, dudes. Deuces.